morning, ladies and gentlemen. Here are the top stories of the day as covered on Mega News. Greek police continue to investigate the kidnapping and murder of the 27-year-old man in Nea Peramos, examining possible financial or personal disputes and potential links to a previous killing in the area. Authorities say the victim was abducted in the early hours of January 26th, shortly after returning from an internet cafe. Security footage shows two men dressed in black forcing him into a car. His phone was switched off and contact was lost. 6 days later, his body was found in a stream. Officials report he had been shot 10 times, his hands and feet were bound, and the perpetrators had attempted to burn the body. Forensic analysis indicates he may have been held alive for several days before his death. Investigators are reviewing his professional and social connections, focusing on financial disagreements and exploring possible ties to a 2024 killing of a businessman in nearby Mandra, which involved a shooting and an attempt to burn the vehicle. Police continue to gather witness statements and analyze evidence as they work to clarify the motive and identify those responsible. The investigation remains active. Two men have been remanded in custody in Thessaloniki in connection with the deaths of two women following months of police investigation. A 52-year-old faces charges of intentional homicide and fatal rape, while a 50-year-old is accused as an accomplice in the fatal rape of one of the victims. Both were jailed by decision of an investigating judge and prosecutor after giving testimony. Authorities say the case involves a 46-year-old and a 42-year-old woman. The 52-year-old allegedly confessed that the first victim died from asphyxiation during a sexual act and that her body was later disposed of in a trash container. The second woman's body was discovered last week in a rooftop storage area of an apartment building in Menemeni, Thessaloniki. Initial indications also point to asphyxiation, though the suspect denies involvement. Police investigations indicate both victims had contact with a 52-year-old and that the crimes took place in the basement of the same apartment building at different times. Investigators are continuing to clarify the timelines and circumstances using forensic evidence and witness statements. Police in Athens have seized a major quantity of the club drug GHB from a 38-year-old man near Omonia Square. Officers confiscated 106 grams of the substance, known as liquid ecstasy, during an early morning stop. The man was taken into custody as he walked away from the area. Authorities say GHB can impair spatial and working memory and is often mixed with alcohol, increasing its potency and risk. Omonia Square and its surrounding streets have long been identified as areas with high levels of street-level drug activity. The arrest is part of the ongoing police efforts to combat illegal substances in the city centre. A passenger bus caught fire earlier this morning near Thessaloniki, destroying the vehicle but leaving all occupants unharmed. The coach, carrying 3 passengers and the driver, was traveling near the Sindos interchange when smoke was first noticed by a passing car. The driver pulled over immediately, allowing everyone to evacuate safely. Firefighters arrived on the scene with 2 engines and 5 personnel, bringing the blaze under control quickly. No injuries were reported. Authorities say the cause of the fire remains under investigation. The bus had been traveling on a national highway and had taken the K20 exit towards Sindos when the incident occurred. Local reports note that this is the second bus fire in the area within 3 days. Taxi services in Athens and Thessaloniki are disrupted today and tomorrow as drivers begin a 2-day strike. The 48-hour work stoppage, organized by the Attica Taxi Drivers Association, or SATA, runs through Tuesday, February 3rd and Wednesday, February 4th. Drivers also plan to gather at 10:30 a.m. at the union offices in central Athens before marching to the Prime Minister's office to press their demands. Taxi owners say they reject dialogue with Greece's transport minister and are insisting on a meeting with Prime Minister Mitsotakis. Key demands include postponing mandatory taxi electrification until 2035, establishing minimum lease rates for chauffeur-driven vehicles, and addressing what drivers describe as unfair competition from multinational apps. They're also asking for access to bus lanes for taxis carrying passengers and reforms to taxation and sector regulations. Authorities warn that the strike will significantly affect commuters and travelers relying on taxis in Athens and other major cities. Drivers plan to maintain the work stoppage until their concerns are addressed directly. These were the top stories of the day as covered on Mega News. Thank you for watching.